A short video clip is blowing up all over the internet, and it might be one of the most telling moments in Hollywood this year. It shows Jenna Ortega, the star of Netflix's Wednesday, walking up to Rachel Zegler at a public event with a friendly smile. Jenna leans in like she's about to say something nice, maybe a hello or a compliment, but then Rachel turns her head and completely ignores her. No smile, no response, not even eye contact. Jenna is left standing there, frozen, with a small awkward smile, clearly unsure what just happened. To some people, it just looks like an uncomfortable red carpet moment. But for fans and industry watchers, it feels like so much more. That 1 second of silence is being shared, slowed down, and replayed everywhere because it seems to capture the huge difference between these two rising stars and the totally opposite directions their careers are going. On one side, you have Jenna, who's become one of the most respected young actresses in Hollywood by showing up, doing the work, and honoring the roles she's given. On the other, there's Rachel, who's facing backlash, career struggles, and major controversy for the way she's spoken about the characters she plays and the fans who love them. This single moment, one ignored smile, has become a symbol of something much bigger, a growing divide in Hollywood between stars who respect the legacy of classic stories and those who try to rewrite them without fully understanding what made them special to begin with. Let's break it all down, how one clip turned into a viral debate, and how two careers took completely different paths from that one silent moment. Jenna Ortega didn't become a star overnight. Her journey to fame took years of hard work, patience, and dedication. Long before anyone called her a breakout star, she was taking smaller roles in TV shows and movies, slowly building up her career. She appeared in shows like Jane the Virgin and You, showing she had talent, but she wasn't yet a household name. What made Jenna different was how seriously she treated every role, even the smaller ones. She wasn't just showing up to act. She was studying, learning, and getting better with every job. Then came her big break, playing Wednesday Addams in Netflix's new series. And Jenna didn't just show up and read her lines. She took the character seriously, really seriously. She watched old episodes and studied how Wednesday used to act, talk, and even move. She learned fencing and cello just to make the role more believable. She wanted to make fans proud by keeping the heart of Wednesday's character the same, dark, smart, and mysterious, but still added her own modern twist. That balance of honoring the past while making something fresh is what made Wednesday such a massive hit. The show broke records, went viral on TikTok, and became one of the most talked about series of the year. But it wasn't just because of the story, it was because of Jenna. People could tell she cared, she respected the role, and she brought something real to the screen. Fans didn't just love Wednesday Addams, they started loving Jenna Ortega for how much heart and effort she put into getting it right. In an industry where many rush into fame, Jenna proved that taking your time, respecting the work, and truly connecting with the character can take you further than anything else. Rachel Zegler's rise to fame looked like a Hollywood fairy tale at first. She was still a teenager when legendary director Steven Spielberg picked her out of thousands of hopefuls to play Maria in West Side Story, one of the most famous musicals of all time. That kind of opportunity doesn't happen often, especially for someone with no big movie credits. Critics praised her voice, her acting, and her fresh take on the role. Suddenly, Rachel's name was everywhere, on red carpets, in magazines, and across social media. It looked like she was on her way to becoming one of the next big stars. Not long after, Disney announced that Rachel would play Snow White in their upcoming live-action remake. That role was huge. Snow White was Disney's first princess and one of the most beloved characters in animation history. Being chosen to play her meant Rachel was stepping into something iconic. At first, people were excited. But then Rachel started giving interviews, and that excitement began to fade. In those interviews, Rachel made comments that shocked many longtime fans. She called the original 1937 Snow White movie weird and criticized the love story between Snow White and the prince. She said it was creepy and said her version of the character wouldn't dream of love or romance. Instead, she'd be focused on power and leadership. While some praised her for being bold and modern, others felt she was missing the point. They believed Snow White wasn't just about a prince. It was about kindness, hope, and believing in happy endings. Rachel also admitted she only watched the original movie once as a child, and she found it so strange that she never watched it again. For many fans, that felt like a red flag. How could someone play such an important character if they didn't even like the story or understand why people loved it for generations? Some even said it seemed like Rachel looked down on the role and the people who grew up with it. What started as a dream opportunity quickly turned into a controversy. Rachel's interviews sparked debates online, and fans began to worry that the new Snow White would lose everything that made the original special. What was meant to be her biggest career moment? While all the public drama was unfolding, something interesting was happening behind the scenes at Disney. The studio was quietly developing a new animated movie with the codename Blue Wave. It was being described as Disney's bold answer to Shrek, a big fun movie that would mix fairy tale characters, jokes, and lots of modern twists. But this time, there was a major difference. Many of the characters in Blue Wave were being reimagined with their genders swapped. Princes became princesses, kings became queens, and some of the classic roles were flipped to fit a new vision. Disney was hoping the movie would send a message about modern values and gender roles. They started looking for young stars to join the cast, and both Jenna Ortega and Rachel Zegler were reportedly approached for lead roles. But their reactions couldn't have been more different. According to insiders, Jenna had serious concerns the moment she read the script. She didn't like the idea of simply switching the genders of famous characters just to seem different. In her view, true progress meant creating brand new, strong female leads, not recycling old ones with a twist. In an interview around that time, Jenna even said, "I don't want to see James Bond as a woman. I want to see another badass that's original." That attitude matched what she had shown with her role as Wednesday: thoughtful, bold, and grounded in creativity. Jenna decided to walk away from the Blue Wave project, even though it could have been a major paycheck. Rachel, however, reportedly saw Blue Wave as an exciting and empowering opportunity. She was enthusiastic about the idea of flipping fairy tales and challenging the old ways they were told. Sources say she was fully on board with the project's direction and eager to take part in what was being marketed as a new kind of storytelling. That split, Jenna stepping back, Rachel stepping in, highlighted a much deeper difference between the two actresses. It wasn't just about one movie. It was about how they each viewed their roles as actresses. Jenna wanted to build something lasting and real, while Rachel seemed more focused on pushing a message, even if it meant rewriting classics. In the eyes of many fans and studio insiders, Blue Wave became a symbol of the growing gap between the two stars, not just in career choices, but in values. As Snow White moved forward, problems kept piling up. The movie cost more than $200 million to make. That's a huge budget, even for Disney. Insiders said the company was nervous, and they had reason to be. When the movie finally came out, it flopped. Critics called it boring. Fans didn't show up. Box office numbers dropped fast after opening weekend. All the money and promotion couldn't save it. While Rachel struggled, Jenna's career kept climbing. She took on a strange horror comedy called Death of a Unicorn with Paul Rudd. It wasn't a blockbuster, but it showed she had range. Directors and casting agents noticed. Disney even offered her a role in a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but she turned it down. Jenna was picking roles that meant something to her, not just chasing big paychecks. Rachel's troubles didn't stop with Snow White. Soon after, she was quietly removed from Paddington 3. The official reason was scheduling problems, but many believed the studio just didn't want more drama. Then she tried to join the Star Wars universe by posting online that her initials, RZ, matched a spaceship from the series. Fans didn't buy it. They called it desperate. Later, Rachel posted Free Palestine during a heated time in politics. Some supported her, but others felt it made her even more controversial. Studios began to worry. People in the film industry started seeing a pattern. Jenna was careful, thoughtful, and honest. Rachel, on the other hand, was becoming known for being hard to work with. One casting director said Jenna always shows up prepared and respects her characters. That makes a huge difference. Rachel still has fans, and some people believe she's being treated unfairly. But it's clear, studios trust Jenna more right now. There's a lesson here. When actors take on famous characters, fans expect them to care. Jenna honored Wednesday Addams. Rachel, many felt, tried to change Snow White too much. People want stories that stay true to the heart of the original, even when they get modern updates. Jenna's choices feel real. Rachel's often feel like she's trying too hard to prove a point. That's the big difference, and fans can tell. So now, when people watch that video of Jenna being ignored by Rachel, it means more than just a bad moment. It's become a symbol of two paths, one of respect, one of rejection. Jenna chose to respect the legacy, Rachel chose to rewrite it. And in Hollywood, where every choice is watched closely, that single turn of the head may have turned the tides of two careers.